So 7 more games left in the Premier League. How many points do Forest end up with? Let's have some fun today and do some predictions. I want you guys to play along, get your scores in the comments down below, and I'll tell you how I think this next 7 game goes. Welcome to the Road to Survival. Hi guys, hope you're doing well. Welcome back to another video. Coming up, we're going to go through the final 7 game, the magnificent 7. I can't think of anything quirkier than that to say. And I'll tell you if I think it's going to be W, D or L. But you guys need to tell me final points tally in the bottom. If you can't bother to go through all the games, just let me know those tallies. And while you're down there, you know the drill. Hit the like, hype and subscribe. Okay. Let's jump straight into this. Like I was thinking, what's the easiest way I could represent this? So I got nice little pretty graphics for you. These are our 7 games. We got Aston Villa coming up next. That's at home. We got Burnley at home, Sunderland away, Chelsea away, Newcastle at home, Scumchester United away, and then we finish with Bournemouth at home. Do we ever get to beat Bournemouth? We'll find out. We'll find out. So what do I think? A couple of things I want to talk to you guys about as well is the points tally. I'm not sure what keeps anyone up. At the moment, Forest are on 32, Spurs on 30. You've got West Ham on 29 and then Leeds just a point above us on 33. Now, West Ham, you would say, looking at that, you have to use them as the barometer because they're sitting 18th. If they were to get another 8 points, that would bring them to 37. I don't know if they've got 8 points in them. So I would say to finish above West Ham as a kind of point of reference, probably West Ham can get 2 wins. So I think 35, anything above that gets you above West Ham. So for Forest to do that, technically, we need a win and a draw. When you say it on paper, it sounds so simple and so easy, but not when it comes to our club, isn't it? And by the way, what do you lot think of my Jesus shirt? Kamehameha? Don't forget, that's in the merch store. If you want to grab it, there's still that 15% discount with code FFTV. So let's start with this Aston Villa game. Now, we're going to be playing European football before this game. But the good thing is, so are Aston Villa. And both teams are the seeded teams in this round. I think we're both away for the first leg, if I'm not mistaken. So both teams will be as knackered, even though they don't fly on EasyJet, as I keep saying. Now, Villa haven't been in great form in the Premier League. Obviously, they won their last match against West Ham. And Villa are actually going to have quite a big say when it comes to the relegation fight. They played West Ham last week. They've got Spurs. They've got us. I think they got Leeds as well, and Wolves, and maybe even Burnley. Villa have got quite, from their perspective, a decent run-in. We tend to do okay at home against Villa and rubbish at Villa Park. I think we can get something out of this. I think it really depends how much energy is exerted and what teams are used in the Europa League matches for both teams. But I actually have a feeling we can get something out of this, chat. I'm going to go for a draw. I think a draw, get a point on the board. That gets us closer to my target of 36 points. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. This for me though, this next game, the Burnley one, this is the be all and end all. Now my biggest worry about this is we do what we did against Leicester last season when we were actually decent. And we go and crap the bed and draw 2-2, and that basically cost us Champions League. Now, let's not forget the difference maker in all these 7 games is going to be one certain Christopher Wood, who will be back. So Forest may have someone who likes to score goals, or should I say can score goals. So that's something we got to bear in mind. We have to beat Burnley. I think Chris Wood will score in this game. Former club and everything. I'm going to go for the W on this one. And as I say, might as well just end the video there. 4 points. That brings us to what? 4 plus 32, 36. I think that's close enough. Now, then we go away to Sunderland. Now, Sunderland are up and down. They're on a high now, obviously winning their derby match against Newcastle. I kind of fancy us away at Sunderland. I think we can get something out of that. So I'm going to give us a token point on this one as well, bringing us up to 37. But then we go to Stamford Bridge, and I just don't feel... I know we beat them under Cooper with... Was it Taiwo who scored that one, if I remember right? Or no, was it Elanga? I can't remember. But outside of that, I always just feel it's a little sweaty ground. Stamford Bridge. However, Chelsea are in absolute disarray at the moment. They don't like the manager. They don't like the ownership. They can't get rid of the ownership for another 7 years. Yet they're going to be protesting the ownership, which sounds pretty stupid. But Chelsea are in a mess. But by the time we get there, it's going to be 3 or 4 game weeks that have passed. And have they sorted it out? Maybe Rossini, the former sheepshagger, has been sacked. I'd be surprised if he's still in the dugout for that Chelsea game. But either way, Chelsea are just in a mess. They could have by then knocked themselves out of a Champions League place or even a fight for it, which means they're looking at Europa or Conference League. Now, will they be on the beach potentially at that stage? We don't know. These are kind of elements that we will, get into as we get closer to the time. But I don't think we win this one. If I'm being realistic, I don't like us going to Stamford Bridge. I'm putting it down as an L. And that brings us on to Newcastle, who are probably one of the hardest teams to predict this season because they've beaten teams they should have lost to. They've lost to teams they should have beaten. I think they lost to West Ham when West Ham were really bad. They lost to them. And in general, they've done well in Europe. I know they went out to Barca, but they looked good against Barca and then looked crap against Barca, all in the same game. So I think for the Newcastle one, I'm trying to think, since we've been back in the Premier League, I don't think we've beaten them at home. I don't think we win this one either. There's always something weird that happens in those Newcastle games. So I'm putting us down for an L here as well. And then that brings me to the 2 teams who are in my top 3 most hated Premier League teams currently. And that's Manchester United and Bournemouth. Now, somehow or other, Man U find themselves in the top 3. Man U have looked a lot better under Carrick, but I don't think they're as good as everyone is making them out to be. This is away at Old Trafford. But Man U is one of those clubs that I think Forest have something over them at times. We beat them twice last season. We drew with them this season when we should have won, but they cheated because Ahmad had a handball in the penalty box, wasn't given for Manchester United. I think we can go to Old Trafford and get something. I don't think playing Forest is the type of game that suits this Carrick system. And a draw here, I'd take. I mean, I'd always take a win against Man U, don't get me wrong. But I'm going to put us down for a draw. So that brings us up to 37. Now, by this stage, we should be quite comfortable on the beach, hopefully in the Europa League final and everything else. And this brings us down. If that's the case, by the way, chat, if that's the case, we are comfortable because after Sunderland, if things go, inshallah, as I've predicted, we're safe then. We have to beat Bournemouth, man. It's getting ridiculous now. This freaking hoodoo they've got over us is silly. And they're such a small, pointless club. The fact that they have this over us is more relevant than their entire club. We've got to beat them. Now, if around that time we've got the Europa League semi-finals or finals, then screw it. I don't really care about losing to Bournemouth as long as we are safe, right? But I want to beat them, man. I want to beat that tin pot little club. So maybe it's my emotions here. Maybe this was my prediction from the start of the season that Forest will beat Bournemouth is my prediction. So those are the results I'm going with. Now, how does that tally up in terms of points? Drum roll, please. That puts us on 41 points. Now, cast your minds back 12 months, to the end of that Bournemouth game, we were on 66 points. So how much is that? 5, 10. Man, what the hell have we digressed? That's ridiculous. 25 points? I would say a lot of those points are Chris Wood related. And this is why Chris Wood's going to be so important when he comes back. If he starts scoring again, we need the goals. Chris Wood could make the difference. And I think what I've predicted there is quite conservative. If Chris Wood is fully fit and comes back firing, maybe, just maybe, we go on a little win streak. But that's me being deluded. So get your final points tallies in the comments. I've gone for 41 points. Do you agree with me? Higher, lower? The Price is Right settings? Let me know in the comments. Check out the merch store. What are you saying to this? Is Jesus Kamehameha. Code FFTV for 15% off. And we'll see you on the next video. Come on, you Reds.